Each movie win Oscars. They have to be very popular, very successful.
Right.
So we'll see how things goes. Nearly 3,000 filmmakers, nearly 4 years to make this movie. I would like to see the movie as a provocation, provoke thoughts and emotions. 3D works so well for water, and this is a water movie. Actually, it's less of a risk than a known one, where you sort of knows the result. Unknown is, even though you take the risk, but it's very exciting.
It's a huge honor and privilege to have Academy Award winning director Ang Lee with us. Wonderful to have you on Bollywood Hungama. The footage that you showed to us from your film was really spectacular. And apart from the fact that it looks something very entertaining and gripping, it has, I think, a layered meaning to it. The ocean signifies, I think, much more than merely ocean in the film. So tell us about maybe the layered meaning that you're trying to showcase in your film, which we have seen in your earlier films as well.
I think Pai took a journey. He lost, in the scene you saw,
right.
He lost everything, including his family, anything that's society, even organized religions, anything he can rely on, the web of society disappeared. So he's actually driven across the Pacific on a lifeboat with a Bengal tiger. All he has is the abstract idea of God, survival of his own sanity. So it's a spiritual journey. I think the water, to me, the ocean, represent not only a test to his strength of his faith, which is like a desert.
Right.
Also, it represents life because it carries him, it moves, it looks like emotional. It's something I could visualize internal emotions through. It's in 3D. Right. And also it has a lot of life. It supports him. It's a life support him. It's emotional. Sky, on the other hand, is the other element. The other 50% is facing sky, which is the abstract, God, heaven, death, and all those things. So to me, it really provides a close compound in the boat, but also a vast backdrop as a stage, sky and the water. Great. So water is really important for me in the journey.
I was going through a write-up in Guardian UK, and they have given a very detailed analysis as to why they feel that Life of Pi has a very good chance of winning Best Film as well as Best Director at Oscars this year. Tell us about, because many people feel that you won Best Director for Brokeback Mountain, but many feel that you should have got the Best Film as well, and it went to crash, and maybe it was, I don't know, whatever happened was not correct, and maybe it will be just corrected this time around at the Oscars. Does it make you feel good? Do you think from that perspective?
I just hope the initial release is doing well, because this is an expensive movie. It has to work as a not only thought-provoking movie, but an emotional flow and a spectacle, a mainstream movie.
Right.
So I'm eager to see how that happens. Each movie win Oscars. They have to be very popular, very successful. Right. So we'll see how things goes.
Right.
Every year there's a thing like, why should certain a film should win. There's like a mood for it. Right. So that is something I cannot predict.
Because what's being said is that you're having a unique story, something which maybe no one has seen ever before, and there is a lot of interest in the Eastern spirituality and mysticism, what some would say. So maybe some are saying that it's a winning combination. We've seen Slumdog Millionaire doing great in the recent times. So Life of Pi can be this year.
I hope so. I hope it's time for Life of Pi.
Great.
I truly hope so.
Right.
It took me and nearly 3,000 filmmakers, nearly 4 years to make this movie. It is our spiritual journey as well. I mean, most of all, I hope it work well with the audience, and I would like to see the movie as a provocation, provoke thoughts and emotions, and it move on, the story move on to the millions of audience.
The interesting part about the film is, what I personally found interesting about the summary that I've read is that in the third part of it, when Irrfan Khan's character is just explaining to to the Japanese guys as to what really happened when he was going through that journey. And the two stories that he tells simultaneously. One is in terms of the tiger and the hyena and the zebra, and the other one how he just fits in his mother and the entire paradigm.
Right.
And he just tells them that it's up to you as to which one you believe. That is, I think, a very, very mysterious sort of element into it that you just maybe...
not usually done in movies, certainly not a mainstream movie.
Right.
Because by telling a second story, you examine the first story, the truth of the first story. Yeah. Normally, you don't want to do that in movie theater.
Exactly.
Because they're in one illusion, you don't want to pull the rock onto them. So to me, the degree of difficulty is rather high for cinema, the cinematic language. How do you keep the flow and the illusion while examining it? It's challenging, and I hope it works for most people, if not everybody.
Whatever visuals we saw today, the footage that we saw today, primarily the one in the oceans, in terms of, I think, 3D, that they're working like big time. I believe that there's also an island that these guys, they go to, and there are algae over there and stuff like that. I think that is something that can be very interesting in terms of 3D for people, for audience.
Island filled with meerkats.
Right.
Trees, a floating island. I think a lot of things. First of all, 3D works so well for water, and this is a water movie. I don't think I can do a lot of things with 2D movies, just water alone.
Some would say that maybe you're taking a huge risk when you're having a boy who's maybe no one knows in the world, Suraj Sharma, and he's your protagonist. He's there on the posters and all, and it's looking very, very convincing and very powerful. Do you think that in a way it's a risk as well, that it's a totally unknown commodity?
Yeah, usually unknown is better than a known person.
Absolutely.
that is not fresh and didn't have a, here's the 5 people, that's a star, right. And here's the unknown. And there's the rest.
Absolutely.
I think unknown is a fresh face, the innocence, the interest. If you pick the right one, actually it's less of a risk than a known one, where you sort of knows the result. Unknown is, even though you take the risk, but it's very exciting. Yeah. If you find a good face, if you find a real true talent, we're all pie. Every 3,000 of us making movies pie, and that young man has to carry it. It's an estimate, my estimate. I hope I'm right.
No, I think he's looking very convincing. He's looking very good. Tiger has been animated, you know, and I think it's like if you don't tell people, they wouldn't believe it. It's like looking as real as it gets. Something about the experience of the entire animation. While you were shooting, what exactly was the process like? Because you're not having the tiger over there. What exactly was the process like?
We shot real tigers. Some made to the movie, most of them not. But they left a very good library of references of how tiger behave, how tiger look, down to the very details. I think that gives the visual effects people very good starting point. So I start out with real tiger. They have to match it. So that's
You know, many times Indians have that stereotypical image in the eyes of the West. They present it in a certain manner, and maybe they can't move beyond that. Generally, that's what perceived is. But here, you're actually presenting an Indian who's like a hero. You know, it's like just overpowers against all odds. Somewhere, it's just breaking the myth about Indians in the eyes of the West as well. Do you think it's about time that the Asians, Indians and Asians, they're just going to redefine the entire paradigm in the world?
I think so. Not all heroes are white or American. If this movie works, I think in a big way, I think it'll be very encouraging.
Right.
Because the story is universal and the culture is unique. That's why we want to go to movies.
Tabu and Irrfan Khan, I think the way you presented Tabu today and the flying kiss and all, I think that was a very fantastic way of presenting it. Tabu and Irrfan Khan, wonderful experience working with them.
Wonderful. They're as good as anybody, any movie star, any actors. They're the world cinema's treasure. You know, it's just so wonderful. I get a chance to work with them.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. Lovely to have you, and all the best wishes for the movie. Thanks.
Thank you.